Hey everybody, so I'm here to talk about Kundalini awakening. And as I was doing the research, I realized that my spiritual awakening definitely has had the qualities of a Kundalini awakening. And at first, I thought that I would talk about practical ways to awaken Kundalini. And of course, as knowledge being a form of freedom and my own, having more awareness of my own experience and journey has been what my education at CIIS has been. So it's been really amazing to learn more deeply about myself as I learn more deeply about these topics in transpersonal psychology. And I'm going to do my best to keep this as short as possible because I know my other group members have a lot of information to give. So my Kundalini awakening, as we learned, it happens over a period of time. And although it may seem as it's one experience and then it's done, my experience is as it's not. And I don't think someone can practically or intentionally awaken Kundalini. It's kind of just a part of somebody's journey. And so I've been on a spiritual journey. I've had a spiritual awakening in my life, and I continue to have these awakenings. And my awakening has been, I do the work in my life. I've done work with my chakras. I've done work with Reiki energy. I've done chakra healings. And for me, I was just doing the next indicated step to heal myself. And what I found out and what I'm finding out is it's just the process of my spiritual awakening. And so I got sober, which on 11/1/11, which started my real spiritual awakening. I went to a Fish concert on 11/11/11, which induced another spiritual awakening. And then throughout that time until now, I've done spiritual work on myself. I've done a lot of healing on myself, a lot of surrendering to something bigger than myself. And then I would go back to my Fish concerts and have these intense spiritual awakenings. And so if you hear the music in the background a little bit, I'm gonna explain about some of the methods I have used, because I hope you can still hear me, but I would be at a concert just dancing and in the moment, my eyes closed, and then I found myself suddenly going like this, and I would be to the music, and I started to feel this intense energy, and then I started to move the energy up and around. And at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. And after reading about it, I realized that I was spinning the chakras, and then I began to feel really connected. And then I would move the energy up and down to the music. I would connect with something larger than myself, source. And so then I intuitively and I didn't know what I was doing, but I started doing this a lot. And at some point so now I feel this energy in the base of my spine. Right now I'm feeling it, and I just move it. I move it up and down my spine, and I can feel it in the base of my spine. And before I knew it, it was coming out. So I would spin it out and up, but then I would bring it back down bring it back down, and I would create this. And so over the course of a show or songs, this is what would happen. And literally it would feel, I can feel it in my whole body, can feel it in my heart. It feels like I'm totally connected to source, love, joyful bliss, and it feels like it's all encompassing. It's just omnipresent. It's there and it's never gonna go away. It's always there for me to connect with. And yet I don't always know that. And I have to breathe because it's intense. It's beautiful. And I can just, and when I go to different parts of my body, I feel it differently. Down here, it feels in my base and my sacral, it feels very, I don't want to use the word sexual because it's not like that, but it's the feeling down there, like, and I without getting too much into it, into wanting to keep this, it can, so I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to send it out into the universe, and I'm going to come back into my body. And for me, that was a really powerful experience. And like I said, it didn't happen overnight. And when I was actually at a fish show, it was very powerful, very altering my state of consciousness, and it would go on for the course of a show. Whew. And before I've done the research on Kundalini awakening, I didn't have a term for it. And so that's been my interpretation, and then I can go back to the research and know that other people are having it. And so I'm going to keep that short and just be in that moment, as that was explaining part of my Kundalini awakening. So thank you.